Welcome to Connected Cultures. I'm Jalen Sturdivant.
And I'm Kinsey Adams. Today we're talking about Norway. To sit down with one of the App State students, Ole Olsen, who grew up there.
But first, I had the chance to see how COVID was affecting the country.
Thanks. Residents of Norway are beginning to celebrate as the government has announced the end of COVID-19 restrictions. After 561 days of strict measures, much to the excitement of Norwegian people. Streets, nightclubs, bars, and restaurants were filled with people celebrating the end of COVID-19 restrictions that have lasted for over a year and even led to some mass brawls as well. It was announced this past Friday by the Norwegian government that any of the remaining COVID-19 restrictions would be lifted and that life for the nation of 5.3 million people would return to normal. The restrictions being lifted allow full capacity at sports and culture venues, restaurants, and the reopening of nightclubs, alongside the government announcing withdrawing its global advisory against non-essential travel at the end of the month and lifting social distancing rules. The unexpected announcement was made by Prime Minister Erna Solberg to drop coronavirus restrictions, which not only took many Norwegians by surprise, but also led to chaotic scenes in the capital, known as Oslo, and other places in the nation. These celebrations by hundreds of citizens that sparked across the nation started in the afternoon of Saturday and lasted up until Sunday. Unrest was reported in several places by the police, such as the southern city of Bergen and the central city of Trondheim, but the unrest was reported to be the worst in Oslo. Among the unrest and loads of people that were out in Oslo, it was also reported that a man on a bus was carrying a machete and that people were fainting outside of clubs. Oslo police spokesman Rune Hegelstrand stated that there was a significantly greater workload that day than during the summer, and that a lot of people were out that afternoon and went on until nighttime. Solberg spoke on the issue and stated that health experts had supported the measure in response to criticisms of the sudden move to reopen society. The Prime Minister Ernest Solberg stated that there will be no strict coronavirus measures until they are professionally justified. Norway isn't the first, but actually the second country in the Nordic region to lift the strict COVID-19 restrictions, as Denmark was the first to lift restrictions on September 10th. Aside from the COVID-19 restrictions being lifted, not only have the new daily cases dropped by 50% over the past few weeks, but more than 76% of Norways have received one vaccine dose, while at least 70% have received both shots, in addition to another 10% of the population having received the first dose of the vaccine.
It's crazy to hear how COVID restrictions are being lifted. That's super exciting.
Yeah, it was interesting to learn how Norway was handling COVID and how residents reacted to the news. But now let's take a look at Kinsey's package as she teaches us about Norway's history.
Norway is a beautiful country with beautiful people and landmarks and food and cultures. Did you know that Frozen was based off of Norway? Arguably, one of the most interesting parts about Norway is their Viking culture. Out of the 3 types of Vikings, Norwegian Vikings were the most vicious and prestigious. Norwegian Vikings are said to be the most brave out of the 3 types of Vikings. They would explore places like Greenland, Iceland, and America. They were the most infamous pioneers. Although they were wild and killed innocent people, they were also wonderful craftsmen, storytellers, and travelers. Vikings influenced a lot of the culture and the art in Norway. One of the most famous art pieces done there by Edvard Munch was the Scream art, up there with Mona Lisa. It even influenced one of the most famous emojis currently, the Scream emoji. Norway is full of beautiful people, culture, food, architecture, style, history, and I would really love to check out those Northern Lights one day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Never knew that the screen was created by a Norwegian artist.
Yeah, I really enjoyed researching about the artwork and learning more about Vikings.
Same here. We'll be right back with an interview with Ole Olsen.
My name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in Recreation Management with a focus in outdoor experiential education, recreation and park management, and commercial recreation and tourism. Our second degree-granting program in health, physical education, and coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina, so come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
Life is a journey. We're told that there are mountains and valleys before us. A mountaineer trudges through. Where others see an obstacle, a mountaineer sees an opportunity. A mountaineer climbs tomorrow's mountains today. So what is a mountaineer? A mountaineer is you.
Welcome back to Connected Cultures. Today we're talking about Norway. I had the chance to interview a good friend of mine, Ole Olsen, who was born and raised in a southern part of Norway. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, it's Kinsey Adams. Welcome to Connected Cultures.
Hej, hej. Jag heter Ole. Välkommen till Sammankopplad kultur.
Hey everyone, I'm here with my best friend, Ole Olsen.
Hey guys, my name's Ole. I'm originally from Norway, and I moved here about 3 years ago.
So what are the things that you like about Norway, and what are some of the things you like about America?
So my favorite things about Norway are probably the foods that we have and the high mountains. It's just a little bit more fresher than the U.S. as currently, but I will say that America has a lot bigger portions than we do in Europe, and especially Norway. And people here are really friendly and nice to hang around.
What is the reason that you came to Appalachian State? Like, what brought you to this little town of Boone?
Honestly, Kenzie, a lot of people were asking the same thing, like, how does somebody from Norway figure out about App State?
Right.
And honestly, like, there were a lot of options out there, but I think what enticed me the most to come here is that you all have the second best sustainable technology program in the U.S. Be it UC Berkeley being the first one,
Hey.
and also the solar vehicle team, which did win the solar race as first place this year. So I really want to come here for that, and I actually joined the solar car team my freshman semester.
Oh wow, good for you.
So the reason I wanted to come to App State is mainly because my dad is from Charlotte, and my grandfather actually moved up here when I was a kid. And I really came to know App through the times that I came to visit as a kid, and I knew that I didn't want to stay down in Charlotte where it's way hotter and humid than it is up here. So
Right, because that's different than Norway for sure.
exactly, yeah. So just being up here and having the ability to actually have snow and being able to ski, that was a big enticer for me.
All right, so what in particular, I heard you mention something about your foods in Norway and that you love them so much. Like, what are some of your favorite foods?
So, let's just say that, like, a lot of American food has more of a prepackaged feel to it,
Right.
or it's not as fresh as what you would get in my country, because our buying habits are really different from American buying habits, because we go and we buy things maybe every day, because our shops are way closer and we can, go in and just grab something fresh off the shelf every day. And
that's interesting.
here you kind of buy in bulk, and you have these huge refrigerators and huge appliances in general. Like, our ovens are not even close to how big yours are.
So like preservatives, is there a big difference?
There is a huge difference. There are a lot of things that are not allowed in the European Union, especially specific food colorings that can actually cause cancer. But,
Yeah.
to be fair, American food is really good too, and Southern cooking is something to be a spectacle about for sure. I love the sweet tea here, by the way.
Yes, I make some good sweet tea that Ole loves.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some of your favorite things about America? Like, you said that you love the people, you know, like, do you like the culture? Like, is there any culture? What is the most prominent thing about the culture of America?
You know, it's kind of hard to say that, like, one culture is better than the other, but I think what America is really special for having is the amount of area. Like, each state is different, and you all have different cultures in each of the states.
Yeah.
So when you go to New York, people just speak and act differently than compared to somebody who's in North Carolina
Right.
to somebody who's in California, right? So I think the diversity just being in the States is awesome, because there are a lot of different people here, and there's always somehow or some way that you can feel at home in America.
Oh, that's very nice. I like that. So there's a spot for everyone here.
Yeah.
Awesome. But, like, what is, like, some of the most beautiful scenery that you see there? Like, I've seen some pictures and...
Okay, honestly, you know, I'm more from the southern side of Norway, and most of the pictures that come out are more from, like, the mountainous regions that are further up north.
Right. Like Frozen.
Like Frozen, exactly. Like,
Cool.
if you go to Trondheim or, you know, anywhere further up north, like the furthest up north that you can go is this island on the top of Norway, basically, and we have, this is what people think about when they hear Norway. They're thinking, like, polar ice bears and, you know, just permafrost and all that. That's further up north, but if you're seeing pictures when you're, like, searching for Google pictures and photos and stuff like that, you'll probably see, like, the huge fjords that we have, and I really, you know, love that part of Norway. And it's not something I've seen anywhere else in the world. That is something special I can't really, like, take or compare to America.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Or
Well, thank you for having me. It's
thank you
great.
for being on our show. Yeah. Thank you. Well, we'll see you later. We'll see you next time on Connected Cultures. This has been Kinsey Adams and Ole Olsen.
Nice
See
to
ya.
know.
It was such a pleasure to interview Ole.
Yeah, it was really great learning about life in Norway.
Well, we would like to thank Ole for joining us today and also for helping us with some Norwegian waffles.
I personally didn't get a chance to try them, but join us after this break as Sev Peterson teaches us how to make some waffles.
Hey, do you have way too much time on your hands?
Do you love watching people act a fool?
Do you like to learn how amazing the LGBTQ+ community is?
Well, yeah, us too. That's why we made this show, Can't Think Straight.
I'm Harriet.
And I'm Nate. We are your esteemed hosts.
We'll provide you non-stop laughs as well as a sprinkle of queer education to get you through your day.
Can't Think Straight will premiere Fridays at 9 p.m. You can watch it on watchapptv.com or any of these TV channels.
Can't wait to see you there.
Bye.
Bye.
In 1899, the misty ridges of northwestern North Carolina became home to a simple yet powerful vision: to transform lives and the region through the empowerment of education. Nearly 120 years later, students still feel the pull of this unique place, and Appalachian has remained grounded in the vision of our founders, providing rural access to a sterling education and serving the region. The Mountaineer passion for lifelong learning is cultivated from an early age. Right now, Appalachian's youngest Mountaineers are developing critical learning skills while also discovering that college is in their future. And when they are ready, their College on the Mountain will be ready for them.
So the children that go to school here at the Academy are from all across Forsyth County, particularly children who may be struggling readers. Our goal is to improve literacy for all students K-5, to work with them, bring in the curriculum through Appalachian State University and the Reading Clinic, and support learning across all disciplines.
The experience for a university student here at Middle Fork is really critical. We're able to show them what their practice that they're learning in the classroom looks like in action. So now we have this community of learners that aren't just little kindergarten through 5th grade students, but we also have teachers who are learning together with them. And they really are building a community that the Academy is really proud to be a part of.
So I've been teaching for 31 years, and one of the questions people always ask me is, why are you still doing this? Why aren't you retired? And my answer to them is because we finally got it right. These children are getting to interact with university professors. They are now identifying with Appalachian. They're saying, that's my college. I'm going to go to that college on the mountain. And they're very excited about that. And so now, these are children who could be first-generation college students, and they're already thinking about it and identifying as college students.
I love being here. I love being at the Academy because this is like one of the best opportunities that a principal can have. I mean, the amount of support I've had as a principal, it's just overwhelming. And I just like being a voice for children and to be a partner with the parents and a partner, on behalf of App State University. This is what I love doing, so I'm very thankful.
Welcome back to Connected Cultures. Our crew has been so excited to learn more about Norway, especially their food. Let's go to Seth Peterson, who, with the help of Ole himself, teaches us how to make traditional Norwegian waffles.
Hi, my name is Seth, and today we're going to be talking about Norway. Norway is known for many things, but today we're going to be talking about the food. Norway has a lot of comforting foods, but the one that we're going to be cooking today are waffles. Norway has such a cold climate that the food has to be comforting. And I know what you're thinking, how can their waffles be any different from ours? Norway's waffles are shaped like a heart and they're softer and thinner than our waffles. Let's get cooking. The ingredients you'll need for this recipe include 1 large egg, a 1/3 cup of whole milk, a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of sea salt, and a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter.
Start off by putting all the dry ingredients in one bowl before moving on to the next bowl. That's where all the rest of the ingredients are going to come in. While I show you the cooking process, let's talk a bit more about the Norwegian waffle. It is surprisingly not a breakfast food. It's more for a lunch thing, served with a whole lot of butter and jams on top. The waffle is a symbol of thoughtfulness. Volunteers would set aside weekly to hand out free homemade waffles to homeless people in the street. It's pretty cool, huh? Once you mix your dry and undry ingredients in their own bowls respectively, make sure to combine them and then let it settle for about 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I let it settle for too long, but fortunate for me, our friend Ole, who's Norwegian himself, saw my mistake and was more than happy to help out.
You already let it swell, but you're supposed to leave it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Use the butter to make sure that the waffle does not stick to the waffle maker. Do not mix the butter with the other ingredients.
Alright, here I go.
Also, yeah, we're good with the interview.
Waffles looking good, and now for the moment of truth.
It's probably gonna be absolutely horrendous. Is it
I have
even
some
cooked?
faith in my abilities.
It's fully cooked.
Okay.
Fully cooked.
We got the flavors there.
Alright.
We're just missing things.
Alright,
You're just missing the iron. That's the only thing.
Yeah. The feel of it.
Everything else, nailed it. You're good.
Really?
Nice.
You heard it from the man himself, Norwegian waffles was a success. Thank you for watching this cooking tutorial. I was happy to recreate this foreign delicacy along with some help. Hopefully you have better success than I do. Take care.
Honestly, those waffles were really good. Even Ole had a few pieces.
I'll have to convince him to make me some. But for now, let's go over to Jay Troll and learn more about Norway's climate.
Thank you, Jalen. And as he said, I'm Jay Troll, and this is a brand new segment on our show called Worldwide Weather, where we explore climates from around the world and we learn about how they differ from our own here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. This week, as you've probably guessed, we're going to be talking about Norway. Like here in Boone, Norway is at the beginning of fall, which means that the leaves are changing, the temperature is dropping, and it's the perfect time for a hike on the beautiful mountainsides. Similar to the Blue Ridge Mountains, Norway's weather this week consists of cloudy skies, rainstorms, and temperatures of about 12.7 degrees Celsius, or for us Americans, about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Over the course of a year, Western Norway can average about 90 inches of precipitation, which is slightly higher than Boone's average of precipitation of about 50 inches a year. It's easy to see why those from Norway, such as Ole, would want to stick to the mountains. With a similar climate to their own home country and activities such as hiking and skiing, it's a new adventure that carries a feeling of home.
It was really interesting to learn about the weather in Norway. And every time Ole tells me the degrees, he always forgets to put it in Fahrenheit and keeps it in Celsius. I get so confused.
Definitely. It's really interesting learning about how weather can remain the same in one place of the world and another.
Right.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Connor O'Doherty is going to teach us a little bit more about what makes Norway so great.
Let's go! To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
Way out!
A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Up late upstate, Sundays at 9.
Get out of here. Just go.
Welcome back to Connected Cultures. This episode, we've had the opportunity to learn more about Norway, from their Viking history to their traditional foods. Now let's go to Connor O'Doherty as he tells us about Norwegian cultures and geography.
Norway is the fourth nearest country to the North Pole. It's located on the glacier-carved Scandinavian peninsula, sharing a border with Sweden, Finland, and a little stretch of Russia. The Scandinavian mountains run along the northern coast, rising over 8,000 feet above sea level. They were formed along a similar tectonic plate boundary that would eventually create mountains in Scotland, Ireland, Acadia, and our own Appalachians. Dominating the mountainous landscape are Norway's majestic fjords. Glaciers as old as time have carved through the rock on their slow journey into the Norwegian Sea. Some of the nearly 1,200 fjords are over 1,000 feet deep and travel miles inland. Sognefjord extends 130 miles into the country's interior. So Norway's general coastline is about 1,500 miles, but if you add the 240,000 islands and 1,200 fjords, the coastline adds up to about 18,000 miles. The Sami people are native to northern Scandinavia. They have remained on the peninsula and relied on fishing, fur trading, and reindeer herding for over 2,000 years. They hold special autonomy in Norway, Sweden, and Finland, but face continued discrimination and environmental exploitation. Norway is one of the few remaining monarchies in the world, with the Harald V currently king. The same crown has ruled over Norway for almost 1,200 years. Norway has held the #1 ranking on the Human Development Index for years. The government subsidizes and nationalizes many industries including healthcare, energy, and water. Its socioeconomic structure is shared among its neighbors like Sweden and Denmark, and is collectively referred to as the Nordic model. It's no surprise that Norway also ranks high in citizen happiness. Norway is a remarkably modern nation with a rich history and a breathtaking geography. You should definitely add it to your travel list.
Wow, so many beautiful sights and views. We even got to take a look at the Northern Lights.
Those are my favorite. Ole always talks about these fjords that we saw all over that video. He said it's the most breathtaking thing, even to this day.
It's been a pleasure learning with you and exploring the culture within Norway.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and we would also like to give a special thank you to Ole Olsen for teaching us some more about his home country.
Join us October 22nd for our next episode on Colombia. See you next time.